So I was enthused enough to buy the Callisto protocol. Oh, but this game had like a review embargo.
Yeah, I know.
And there was no reviews for this. No one did any reviews. And then there was
Okay. Yeah, that's true. I will tell you exactly why right now, because I work in a gaming journalist company, so I know the exact reason. What happened?
Just to feel good at the end of the day.
Welcome back to RBS Go, guys. This is the random bullshit podcast that is always going. With this week's episode, we have no starring guests. It's just myself and co-host Embo. So I'll pass you over to Embo to introduce himself again.
Again. I mean, I already gave my biggest introduction ever on the first podcast. Hey, I'm Embo. I'm a YouTuber. I'm Botheus. That's it.
Yep.
Who are you?
I'm a nobody. I'm just a guy that likes to play video games and chats a lot of shit.
Video games.
Yep.
Familiar topic.
It's always a great topic. So for this week, since we're talking about video games, I thought it would be a great chance to talk about the development of video games from where we've started. How did we first get into them? How they've changed over the years, and where do you think they'll be going?
Okay, that's interesting.
So, how did you get into the video games? What was your first console or device or game that really, you sat down and it was like an oh fuck moment? I love this.
Oh yeah, that's a very good question. Obviously, Nintendo DS was a pretty big thing for me. I think it was like the entire Mario franchise got me into it, but also Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, like the old one, not the new one. Let's not talk about that. And also Black Ops Zombies.
The first Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, the first, like from 2009, that one.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love those, and I got pretty addicted to zombies. That's where my love for hack and slash shooters came to life. I don't know how I ended up here, where I play Overwatch and League of Legends, but
we all go there. Don't worry.
Oh my god, I went downwards, spiraling downwards, crashing down into the pit of despair. Okay. How about you?
For me, I can remember the first games I played. I was never old enough to play, so I was, when I was a kid, I lived in like a neighborhood, and it was like a closed one, a cul-de-sac, and I must have been 7, maybe 8. And obviously there's the older kids on the street, but since everyone's there, let's say they're like 12 or 14, but you still play with them, hide and seek, TIG, whatever. This is before the dawning of video games. People play with people older than them. And they all got Nintendo 64s. And that was my...
Wait, that's not that old of a console, though, right?
It's not that old.
Super Nintendo was before that.
Oh, yeah,
Game Boy.
they had... I think they did have Sega Mega Drives and a few other things.
Oh, right.
A few people had them, but then the Nintendo 64 was like my first real introduction into a console. And everyone on the street had a Nintendo 64. And everyone on the street purposely bought different games. So you would share the cartridges between the people, and you would all play
you would like
them.
Borrow from each other.
So like,
damn.
Let's say Joe down the street, everyone had GoldenEye, because that was just the shooter to have. Everyone went round friends' houses, 1v1, 2v2, free for all. You would set it all up, and you'd just play on that. That's where it all begun for me. But what really got me hooked was my dad used to travel a lot for work. And he went out to Japan for some business, some conference, something like that. He came back with a Nintendo Game Boy. And it was like a bundle of games as well. And it was one of these little game cartridges that you could put in the Game Boy that was like 1,000 games in one.
Oh, I think my uncle had the same thing, but I have such fake memories. I remember playing some Zelda game or some Zelda bootleg on either like one of those old brick phones, which seems impossible, or a Game Boy, and I just don't remember what Zelda it could be. I don't remember on what console it was. I just have this vague memory of being at a wedding of my aunt and my uncle, and I was playing like this top-down Zelda game, and I don't remember how, what, when, why, what.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was what got me into it, you know? You had this device that had pretty much what seemed like limitless entertainment at the time. And there's no save function as well with it, which was brutal. It was like you would get codes. So like when you finished the level, it was like up, down, left, right, B, 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 A, and that will get you to like level 6 again, and you could start from there. So you'd have to progress, and you'd have to take down these codes if you wanted to continue from the same place. So it was just this repetition and scratching your brain for that serotonin reward and just getting through. And then it just went into the Nintendo 64, and then just from there, you know, consoles to PCs.
Okay, big question. What was your favorite N64 game?
Ooh, you see, if you're playing with people, my favorite game was GoldenEye, because it was just everyone on the street would pile into a house, and it was just these little shooting death matches and whatnot, and people managed to finesse the game into certain ways. Like if you can remember the controller, it was a 3-prong piece of crap. And
it was not made for GoldenEye.
No.
GoldenEye.
So the thing was, which I figured out, well, I can't say I figured out, someone figured it out, but I can just remember using it. You had the 4 yellow keys up, down, left, right on the left, when then you had like the toggle in the middle, the Z, and then the A, B, and then some other stuff, X, whatever it was on the right.
Seems about right.
I found out if you used the yellow keys to go sideways, you actually moved faster sideways than going forward. So when you were playing the game, you would always see people cutting about sideways to try to get to places. And you're just looking
like
at
fucking crabs.
Yeah, you're looking at people
sideways.
like, oh, you're an absolute idiot. But it was just how the game got played. God. If you could faster than someone else, you were like, I'm happy. So
that's been a great meta in Call of Duty as well, that you just like the weirdest looking stuff works the best. And in I think up to Black Ops 3, it was always a good tactic to lay down before you shoot.
Oh, drop shots.
To just like you would just look at someone, lay down, shoot them, and you would stand up, and it would also look stupid, but it was so strong.
The best was if you like Call of Duty 4. That was the first one I got into. I never played the ones before that. If you lay on the floor and you just kept spamming change weapon, your guy would go into like a fixed movement and he wouldn't move. So he's not moving in any way, shape or form. And this is where like this whole sneaking defuse bomb used to come in bullshit. That someone would just be landing in front of the search and destroy bit that they're destroying. This guy's just frozen in time lying on the floor. So you're thinking, he's dead, you know? No name tags, no nothing. So then he would pick it up and run away, and then you just defuse it before he realizes, and it's just like, what the hell? And it was all this stuff with like drop shot. Whoever figured that out and came up with that as well.
Well, I know who came up with that in the Netherlands.
Yeah, you're walking around the corner and you see someone in front of you, so you start shooting forward, but the guy just lies down and shoots up, and you're like, oh, okay, good for you.
But also in Black Ops 3, it was still a thing. But Black Ops 3 had this Titanfall-like movement where you could jump on walls and you could double jump. But still, laying was somehow better. That's how fucking bullshit the lay mechanic was.
What people create that's not intended normally is better than what the developers intended. You know, someone's finessed the game into some sort of way. This is the playstyle, and it just becomes the playstyle. It's like, what was it? The perk Martyrdom in Call of Duty 4 and going forwards is like when you kill someone, they drop a live grenade. That just pissed so many people off. And if you wanted to guarantee to annoy someone, strap a grenade launcher on your gun and just kill them with the explosives. The good old noob, the noob tube.
I do wonder how Call of Duty is now, because I don't play it actively. I've played the newest Call of Duty a little bit, but I didn't see anything weird. It's just a few guns that are stronger than others.
I haven't looked into it. I remember being the young child, let's say, or the younger adult or teen playing it and giving shit to the older people. Now,
James.
Yeah, now if I go into the lobby, I'm the older person getting shit off these kids, and I'm just like, you utter assholes. It's done full circle for me now. Full circle.
Well, I have some good news for you. and maybe people listening at home, by the time this episode came out, it's been a week since the last Fortnite update. And what they did might help you out. Obviously, no build has been a big thing for a long while. Like, you would not be able to build. But now what they did as well is they overhauled the game and they made it better. They made it look better. They made it look heavier. Kids who don't know anything about graphics will put their graphics on high, have terrible FPS, and you can just shit all over them. So, like, can you imagine just some kid who doesn't know what the hell he's doing? I'm just gonna put this on high, and then that new update comes out.
But that was the thing with PUBG when it first came out. It had graphic issues. If people had if people had a powerful PC and you could run it fully optimized at full graphics, no FPS, no drop, no nothing.
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
right,
great
because things didn't render in.
Yeah, if you were playing on minimal settings, I could be hiding in a bush, and a guy can just see me crouching in the middle of the open because he had low settings, so the bush didn't render. That was an issue at the start. Can you imagine that? So everyone was just playing on low. Fuck what it's looking at. That's a huge advantage for people.
Yeah, well, a lot of games people play at low because it just otherwise you get overwhelmed with all the ray tracing nowadays.
DLSS, I don't even know what that is. It's just in the settings now.
You don't know ray tracing?
I do, but I just don't use it.
Oh.
It's like,
I was genuinely confused.
Do I really need that little extra bit of shininess?
No, you don't.
I mean, unless it's a single player where I can have a
like God of War.
chance to see it. If I'm running around trying to kill someone, I'm not looking other than what's directly in front of me.
Yeah. I had the same. I played Doom Eternal and I thought, oh, let's put on ray tracing. It'll look better. Oh, fuck, I hit my mic. I told myself not to do that. Oh, no! Okay. Sorry, people. Okay. No, I was playing Doom Eternal and I put that thing on. I was like, yeah, it'll look better. And of course it did. But my PC was absolutely heating up. And at the same time, I was just shooting demons. I didn't even look at it. I was just fucking chainsawing through random demons.
Exactly.
I didn't need it, but I still did it. It's still nice, though.
The only games,
gives you
like the slow-paced, atmospheric, I think it really does do wonders with. Like, for me,
Cyberpunk.
I chucked it into... It's quite an old game, but Metro Exodus. The last of the 3 franchise at the moment.
I'm gonna pretend like I ever played a Metro game, okay?
Oof, yeah. And there's nice. It's not fast paced. It's not action. If you can, there's 2 play styles. You can either run and gun through it, and depending on the difficulty, you don't have a lot of ammo. You don't have a lot of currency. If you're playing on an easy mode and you just want to run and gun, hack and slash, go for it. But it's not really designed. It's meant to be survival, sneak, and then fight if you have to fight.
Yeah, because a lot of games have that nice bridge between choosing your own playstyle, and that's what I miss nowadays, where you used to be able to choose from so many things, but nowadays metas are such a big thing, especially in a game like Overwatch. There used to be like almost no characters, so you could play whatever the fuck you wanted and you can make it work. But now all these characters are here, the development team can't keep up, they can't balance it all out, and now you're just stuck with a Moira sucking you off and the Zarya completely diminishing your health.
Well, right now with that game, the one thing I've found is its Bastion is quite hard to counter. If he goes into his turret form, you got a Genji that can deflect it. You've got a Sigma that can suck up the bullets. But that turret form actually lasts longer than those 2 abilities. So as soon as the ability's done, all right, put your shield up, it's deleted again. and then he goes into his normal form, and it's like, okay. He needs...
A lot of characters are broken in Overwatch, which used to be the fun thing about it, but now it isn't. Because the kind of broken that they now think is fun is too much damage. Yeah. That's their kind of broken. And it used to be, oh, they have too much shield. Oh, they have too much mobility. Oh, they have too much this. But now it's genuinely all the same. It's all too much damage. And that's not a fun way of overpowering your characters. I would say make them overpowered in a different way if you want it to be a big fuckfest. But nah. That's why I really don't I really don't really don't like that game anymore.
I'm getting tired of games that force you to purchase when you've already purchased the game. Whatever you want to call it, microtransactions, subscriptions, whatever. You've bought the game.
People thought that would end, you know that? Like, at the release of Star Wars Battlefront 2, there was this big controversy.
With EA,
and so many people hated the microtransactions and stuff, right?
That was a huge boycott on that. And then
Yeah, and people, all like, everyone said, okay, all developers are going to learn from this, and they're all going to stop doing microtransactions. Joke's on them.
Change it
They don't fucking
they
care.
changed it. There's 2 ways to play now, free or premium. And depending on what the game is, it either gives you an advantage or it doesn't give you an advantage, and you're just putting money into something that doesn't need to put money in. So like countries banned loot boxes because it's a form of gambling. And then you're gambling with people under the age of 18, which is the legal age of gambling in many countries.
Yeah.
So those countries have banned the transactions of loot boxes, which now has made certain game companies be like, all right, fine, battle pass. You either get it for,
but
you either grind it out,
different as well.
or you just pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so stupid because battle passes used to have this way of at least you earn V-Bucks from it. At least you earn Apex coins from it.
You got something
right?
from it. You got some sort of, you got something that isn't real but can be used for something. You had a digital currency that was stuck in the game. So if you liked the look of something, you could buy it. But now you get nothing out of it. You pay it and that's it. Depending on the game.
You get a few, you get a few skins and then it's done. And of course, Apex and Fortnite have still hold their grounds. And even though I don't like Battle Royales, I do respect them for just keeping that format.
Yeah, they've survived.
I definitely respect Fortnite, but I don't play Fortnite. And I definitely respect Apex, but get your fucking ass off Apex and start working on Titanfall 3. Please respawn. I'm so done with the Battle Royales. I'm so done. And the Battle Royale genre is already like slowly but surely dying out. Of course, Warzone 2 is a big thing, but it's a big thing now, and then next year no one will care anymore.
In 6 months' time, no one will care when something AAA game comes out that has a multiplayer feature. It will just be replaced. Like that's what I'm saying. Like things. Overwatch and a few things. These are just time fillers for the time being, while you're waiting for the next latest and greatest game to come out.
There are many things that are wrong with Battle Royales, and a lot of people hate them. And I think the best format maybe would be to bring PvE and PvP in one back, which is an upcoming game that might be interesting to people who play MOBAs. Is Evercore Heroes. It's gonna be a MOBA that's gonna be dedicated to you and your team, killing PvE minions and bosses and stuff, but also sabotaging the other teams a little bit. But that's not the main objective, and I think something like that would really work, especially since you have less rage that way. And rage, we could talk about rage because that's a topic nowadays. So many games are so frustrating in so many different ways. And it's insane to me.
Yep.
It's... Why? For example, League of Legends, it's such a toxic place. And I am a part of it. I'm also toxic.
Everyone
I'm toxic
is so
as hell.
toxic on it. You try and be the bigger person, and then, the other person on the other team will just do the 4 letters that will just make you rage inside. GG and EZ. And then you're like, my friend, I want to kill you.
Or no, teammates are worse. And I remember, what game was it? Like, there was a game that disabled all chat in general. And then people would just start flaming their teammates, which is the bigger issue, if you ask me. Because flaming your teammates makes it, I think, more toxic than flaming the enemy. Because, the enemy are a one-time thing.
I was an absolute child in the arsehole the other day. I was playing competitive.
Again, yeah.
What was it? The first round, we lost, and they were complaining about my tank choice. So then, the second round we played, and we dominated because I changed my tank. And then they were like, see, this is what's better when you change your tank. You're a useless tank. Don't switch tanks again. So, you know, since you just annoyed me, I just rotated back to the first tank. And I did even better.
I think I did the same thing yesterday. I don't know if I was
better.
playing with you, but I there was this fucking guy. I was a healer, and I had no internet. Nothing. I had no latency. Well, of course, if you have no latency, that means you have 0 ms. I had very insanely high latency. Like 400 ms again. And this guy was complaining about healing. And I had already trouble healing the team. So then I was like, you know what? I'll spare myself the effort and I'll, you know, take a page from his book and I'll heal everyone but him. And he got so mad.
Yeah.
And I know it's a toxic thing to do, but it's so easy to tempt yourself into getting into that childish behavior.
Oh.
That's why I do think a game like Overwatch and a game like, I don't know, any other game like that, you should be able to individually mute everyone.
Yes.
Like, you should be able to, oh, I want to mute their pings. Oh, I want to mute their voice chat. I want to mute their team chat, their all chat. That should be an option. Because
I would love an option just where I could only speak to my friends. Like, in competitive or something, and then gives me an option to jump into a team chat if I want to, and if I don't want to, I can jump out. Simple as that.
Yeah. But you mean the typing chat as well?
I just remove myself from typing chat. It's weird. I don't want to see it.
I really like that's the one thing that League of Legends does try to reduce toxicity. Obviously, you can type /mute all in League of Legends, and that way you mute everyone, everything, which is not the greatest thing. Or you can just mute whoever is just frustrating you. You can mute their emotes, you can mute their texts, and you can also mute their pings. And pinging is a big thing in League of Legends. Whenever someone does something stupid, whenever someone's mad at you, whenever someone's mad at a random thing happening, question mark. It just keeps happening.
You see,
I'm
happy.
It's funny, but
the few times I've played with League with you, I've never played League until I met Embro, and he's dragged me into it a few times to play, and I find it enjoyable, but it's only enjoyable because I don't understand what I'm doing. So, you know, like,
the learning process.
So, like, if I mess up, I don't understand that I've messed up and someone's getting really angry, and I'm not even looking at the chat. So everyone's going nuts, and I'm just there, you know, like whacking minions, just having the time of my life. Completely oblivious.
Oh my God. It's like that fucking clip, you know, it was from a TV show, but it became a big meme. This clip of a guy coming back for pizza, and the entire house is on fire. People are fucking tearing off their shirts and whirling it around. Do you know that clip?
I think so, yeah. It
oh my God.
Vaguely rings.
Vaguely. Oh, it's so funny, but that's you at that moment.
Yeah.
And I miss being that guy, because what you have to know about me, I am in everything I do an extremely flexible person. Not in a good way, because I will want to do everything at the same time, which means that I get a little bit of everything, but I'm never good at one thing. You know what I mean? So, also with work, by the way, I'm a terrible worker. I will be editing one thing at one time, and then I will just fucking go over and do something in Photoshop, and then I'll go back and I don't know. But for games, it's even worse, because now I really don't have new experiences. I've played MMOs, I've played RPGs, I've played multiplayer team, I've played Battle Royales, MOBAs, football games, arcade games, open world games, everything. Nothing's new to me anymore, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah, I think everything's more or less been done. There needs to be a new game type that someone creates that's just completely out there.
And that is exactly why I'm so excited for Evercore Heroes, because that's a concept that I haven't heard. Where it's just, if you defeat the boss earlier than the enemy team, you win. Also, you can sabotage them. That sounds amazing to me. I don't know why. That sounds so fun. But, you know, it is like a MOBA top-down, and stuff like that. So I don't know if everyone will find it enjoyable, but yeah, we'll find out, I guess, sooner or later.
Yeah.
But now we're talking a little bit too much about multiplayer games. How about the state of single player games? What is your favorite single player game ever?
Favorite single player game? Oh, that's a tough one. There's three for me. Or let's say they're not a game per se. They like chronicle, follow each other. Like you can say the Fallout universe. Great. You could say Elder Scrolls universe. Great. For me, probably Fallout 3 was that first real exploring sort of game where it gives you quests and it actually rewarded you for stepping off the beaten track. It was like, okay, you could do the main story dead quick, but where's the fun in that? Go out, explore, find the factions, loot, shoot, and then once you complete it, you know what? Let me retry it. Let me replay it. Let's go for a melee build instead of being a shooter. Let's be someone charismatic. Let's try going through sneak. There was multiple ways you could play that game. And that was the same with me with Oblivion, and then which led to Skyrim.
Okay.
Those sort of single player games I've just truly loved. You know, you could just sit down, you can put hours into them, and if you play on PC or even console nowadays, the way that you can introduce mods to change the game completely, you can either do visual overhauls or you can add actual unofficial mods into them that adds quests and things like that. You know, what people have done, taken the time to change an already great game and put more content in.
Maybe it's just because I'm a young little baby boy, and I get it. It's a hot take, but games like that really don't do it for me.
Yeah.
And I'm playing Skyrim now, and everyone was saying to me, "Don't do the main quest too quickly. Don't do the main quest too quickly. Go on in the world." And I was like, okay. So I tried a few side quests. Some of them were fun. Some of them were less fun. But I did find myself at one point where I was like, I don't want to do side quests anymore. I just want to finish the game and be done with it.
Yeah.
Because it's such a short main quest that I just, yeah. My first Skyrim experience was not as great as many other people had. Obviously, I loved a lot of things about it, especially like the building your own character type. But I didn't like the hundreds of side quests and then a very short main quest. I don't like that. I like doing the main quest, following the main story. But I don't know. It gives me a better sense of victory when I finally complete it. But that could just be me. I just have a very different taste in single player games. Like, there we go, Titanfall 2, which is a hot take as well, because the single player is legendary, it's amazing, but no one would ever call it their favorite because it's only 6 hours. But maybe they are 6 hours. But I put 36 hours in the campaign, or more. Because I just love it so much that I kept replaying and I kept replaying. Even until today, I would listen to simple soundtracks from levels from that campaign. Because I love that game so fucking much. It's insane. And then, of course, I like Doom Eternal. Of course, oh my god, I keep hitting my fucking mic. I love Doom Eternal. I liked playing Spider-Man, like the PS4 version, which is getting a remake, and I'm probably not playing that. Many games I loved, but none of them really got that much love from me as Titanfall 2. And maybe it's also because I am more of a movie and show guy than a game guy nowadays.
Yeah. Did you play Witcher 3 at all?
But the thing is, I have a very hard time with third-player action games. Like, only Jedi Fallen Order really did it for me. I'm playing God of War right now for the first time because it was free on PlayStation Plus. My brother installed it on the PS4. And I was like, okay, I'll play it whenever I'm at my parents' house. I just play it. But I am gonna be honest, I don't really enjoy it.
You don't like the
especially
third person aspect.
No, I just don't like the trial and error you have with boss fights, and then the fact that I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but God of War is like 80% cutscenes. And I've already seen someone play through it, so I already know the story. It's just, if you could call it a game or just a very good story with a few game mechanics, because it's so much watching, and I'm also very bad at puzzles. Even in God of War, I just fuck up puzzles constantly. So I'm not really enjoying it too much. I will still finish it because the story is great. Once again, I like experiencing the story, but third player action games have to do a lot of things right in order for me to keep playing it. And that's why Jedi Fallen Order is my best third player action game I've ever played.
Yeah, fair enough. It's your enjoyment. You don't have to really defend it.
Yeah, I feel with the gaming community, there's a lot of things.
A lot of people flame on a lot of people for their tastes and niches and whatnot.
It's so stupid. It's like games are made to be enjoyed and sometimes not enjoyed. So if you have a difference of opinion, it's a difference of opinion.
Yeah. Quite a lot of people,
course.
like some people might enjoy a smaller game more than the AAA game they bought.
Yeah,
Because
of course.
you expect so much from the AAA that when you play it, you're kind of underwhelmed. But if you picked up a game that cost you nothing, but yet you've put hundreds of hours into it, that is ultimately the better game.
Yeah, like indie games.
Yeah. They're great.
I remember the hype around Undertale. It's insane. And I haven't played Undertale, but I've been listening to the soundtrack the last few days. And what the fuck? It's so good! Do you know the one that goes do 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 do? It's so fucking great. It's
A
not
little
just
slapper.
Megalovania. Everything. It's so good. And I don't like RPGs, but I would give it a chance just because of that insane soundtrack. But the previous time I did that, giving a game a chance for a soundtrack. This is a great title for a timestamp, by the way. For whoever is doing the timestamps, if you're listening, that's a great title. Write that down. Playing a game for a soundtrack is very dangerous. I played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Amazing soundtrack. Gameplay is dog shit. It's so clunky. It's so hard to control. The camera is going everywhere. The stealth is absolutely disgusting. But then the world is pretty cool, and the fucking soundtrack, it's perfection. It's chef's kiss, I would say. Have you ever played a game because of a soundtrack?
No, but I'm looking through my Steam library, and you know how you can filter and whatnot, and you're thinking,
Yeah.
why the hell do I actually have music in it?
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
They would give
Give you
soundtracks
the
with
OSTs,
games.
yeah, the original soundtracks.
Some of them are really good, so fair.
So what's
you
the
know?
biggest disappointment game you've played, where you've hyped up so big, truly looked forward to it, and from day one, or not even day one, let's say like day 3, day 4, day 5 of you playing it, you figure out it's a hot piece of garbage?
A lot of games. Battlefield 1 was one. The story mode was pretty good, but the glitches and all the messiness, and especially because Battlefield 1 is essentially the reason Titanfall 2 died. So I hate the shit out of that game. But it's not my biggest disappointment. And my biggest disappointment, it's a very average answer, and everyone will probably know it. Go ahead.
Cyberpunk.
Whoa, you did it! Let's go! Whoa, James! Okay, how about you?
I'll say I wasn't disappointed. I bought it and I didn't play it for whatever reason, I can't remember. And then it got so much flack from others that I just decided not to play it until developers addressed the issues, which I think I went to see. So I was gone for like 10 weeks and I came back and
yeah,
it was
right.
like, you're talking 30, 40, 50 gigabyte update, and it's like, that's a full game overhaul.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I can play it from there. you know what, it's fine. It works. It doesn't really glitch out. But then again, I think I only put like barely any hours. I've got it installed and I've played it for 23 hours, which is nothing in a game of something of
True.
that size. But I'll tell you what the biggest disappointment of to date, well, not to date, it's just the most recent one. So I was enthused enough to buy the Callisto protocol.
Oh, I felt it coming. I felt it coming.
And you know what?
Oh,
I played it just with recommended settings.
Yeah.
And it does the hardware detection and does everything, and it just put me onto custom.
Right.
And I went from there. I didn't think about it. I had to alt F4 the game in the first 30 seconds due to the stuttering, which they released an update on day one to fix the stuttering. I just bumped it down to straight medium just so I could get like 100 plus FPS. And in certain points, it still stutters to below 50. Like, if you have a consistent 100 and then you have like 1 or 2 seconds of 50, you can just see when it kicks in.
Oh my god.
But the biggest... beautiful, design-wise, beautiful. One of the nicest looking games in a long time that I've seen. Storytelling, absolutely, there's no weight to the story. The characters, I can't even remember their name. You know, like, they mean nothing to me. You have no investment into them. And the combat is so clunky. So if like two enemies were going to hit each other at the same time, a normal game, the person that connects first overrides the hit. So I could hit one of these zombie creatures, aliens, and as you're pulling back, his action is still continuing from your hit. So you've hit this guy, and then he will automatically just hit you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And the dodging system...
I heard something about the dodging system where it's just like, you dodge first, and then you hit them, you dodge again, then you do a heavy attack, and they're dead. Yeah. And it's the same with every enemy.
Any sort of like melee enemy, let's say. There's a few things that like grab you, and there's not much you can do unless you spot them, and they're hidden, but not that hidden. But enemy coming up, you hold A. Okay, so you've dodged that way. Then you have to hold D. Okay, I've dodged that way. Hold A, hold D, hold S to block. Okay, you've blocked. That's it. That's the combat. That's the combat. And you just you left click, middle click the mouse, press a right click at a time, and a left click again to shoot. That's it. That's the combat. But I've noticed smaller bugs, and I didn't know if it was me, but reading through, everyone has them as well. So there's checkpoints. So let's say there's automatic saves and then your manual saves. So checkpoint happens, you get through, you get to an upgrade station, you upgrade your gun, you upgrade your equipment. You do a manual save, you continue. When you load in that manual save, none of your equipment is upgraded. So this... Yeah. So you're going, let's say you've just upgraded a gun and you know you're going into a fight, or you're just going to go start exploring, and you load in your save again. You have to go back and find that thing and re-upgrade. It happened to me a few times. I was like, you get this like weird double barrel shotgun, and I was like, why is it showing that it has 2 ammo when it should have 4? You know, you like basically slap an extra 2 barrels on it. I'm like, where have they gone?
What the hell? But it's so, it's almost a trend for games nowadays to not finish their game.
But this game had like a review embargo.
Yeah, I know.
Then there was no reviews for this. No one did any reviews. And then there was
okay. Yeah, that's true. I will tell you exactly why right now, because I work in a gaming journalist company, so I know the exact reason. What happened is there was one cutscene, and this is not going to surprise you, that would just break the game.
Yeah, not surprised.
It would just break the game, and the only way to fix it was not to skip that cutscene, because that's impossible, was to replay the game after they patched it. So a lot of reviewers were late with their review. Like, they weren't on the on the embargo, which is usually what they try. Like, they try getting their review exactly on the embargo, because that's, people want to read about the game if it's good or
Yeah.
not. I can tell you now, no,
Oh,
it's fucking terrible. It's
If
fucking
you
terrible.
go to its store page, I have it open. Give me 1 second.
Oh, you're gonna read comments?
No. I'm not gonna flame them. I'm not gonna flame them. It's 15,300 people at this point have purchased it, and the reviews out of those 15,000. So, what is it? 15,700 have purchased it. 15,300 have reviewed it. So I'm in the little 400 of people who have chosen not to review it. 8,400 positive and 6,800 negative. Don't even filter, you just open it and you can just see a wall of red.
Enough. I don't want to talk about, because it happens with so many games. The new Pokemon is also garbage. It's by the way, if you're listening this 2 years later, we're talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, in which characters look like PS2 characters. That's great, right? And if they're in the distance, then it's just a little blur that's walking. It's insane, because on that same fucking console, they made Zelda Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade Chronicles. I can name another fucking 100 that don't have that issue. So, games are being rushed by their developers.
This is it.
And I think that's the conclusion that you can take from this. Games are rushing because they value quantity over quality. And that's a problem. But that's okay. One day, maybe we'll have developers that care. And I do think Respawn is still one of those few developers that care. So I have high hopes for Jedi Survivor. And I might be shooting myself in my foot. But I think it will be a good game. I think maybe a good game.
No,
maybe.
we're still waiting 10, 12 years later for whatever the next Elder Scrolls going to be. Fallout, they've just that game has been on more consoles than I've changed underwear. Oh my god.
And GTA, by the way. GTA is also... Wait, now that I thought of it. The most popular GTA title is GTA 5. Yeah. The most popular Elder Scrolls title is Elder Scrolls 5.
Yeah, Skyrim.
The most news we've ever had about the 6th series in GTA is now. And also with Skyrim. They're essentially the fucking same game.
Yes.
They're the same game, but different. Oh my god. I thought of that today and I was like, oh my god.
But you're just sitting there waiting. And I've got like I don't know how, if I've got it for free, I've been gifted it, I don't know that. I have multiple versions of Skyrim even in Steam. And you're like,
oh, really? I only have one.
I've got like Skyrim. I think I've got Legacy Edition. I've got Anniversary Edition or something. I bought it once,
Christ.
And they've just appeared. And I played it.
Oh my god!
Played it on console before I got it on PC. So I did all my time on console, and then I've also played it on PC.
What? Alright, let's stop about these big games that keep failing. Have you played VR?
No, I've never tried it. I want to try it. It could be good. I like the concept. I like the idea. I think people are starting to get the VR scene where they're creating more elaborate things. Like when it first came out, since it's a lot more complicated than a normal game.
Yeah.
It was like restricted with what it could do and how easy it could be made. Now we've got better technology, better things. People have been developing them for a while. They have more tools. They have different stuff. And the games are getting more and more there. So I think maybe in a couple more years, I think every gamer will have a console, a PC, and a VR set.
So, well, actually, you could already.
Yeah.
You could take an Oculus Quest 2 instead of a PlayStation. Same price, if not cheaper, and you can get things on that console. You can play wirelessly, and you can just start enjoying it.
Yeah.
It is insane to me how accessible VR actually is. You don't even have to know that much about it, but there is a few basic tips, like make sure that you are, if you're playing on Airlink, for example, which is your way of connected to your computer, if you don't want to use cable, make sure that the router your computer is using is in the same room. Make sure that no one else is fucking up your Wi-Fi and downloading the entire Breaking Bad series. I think I've made a Breaking Bad reference in the previous episode. I think that's just going to be a recurring thing that I'm going to keep doing. But it's like these basic things you have to know. But then after that, it's easier than gaming on a PC. And it's really accessible and really fun. And still, the best things are the simple things, like super hot VR, which is, I mean, my room is a little bit small. It's not really easy for me to play it because they always place my guns out of reach, and then I hit my desk or my fucking mic while I'm trying to reach for the pistol. Or like Beat Saber, which is probably the most accessible VR game ever, and it will stay that way for a while. But I can tell you as a VR player, big things are happening in the VR world. So if you want to get a VR headset, now or next year is probably the best time, because things are really looking up for us. Some games that are absolutely amazing at tracking, where you can be a very small person. You could play a big person in VR, and your hands wouldn't clip through your avatar. The technology is getting there, and obviously, what is it called? Like the motion sensors, the body. The body sensors. What do you call them?
Oh, these haptic...
Body tracking.
Yeah.
Body tracking is also becoming more accessible. They're actually trying to bring it to Europe for a cheaper price as we are recording this podcast, in so that every single person can play VR games with their feet as well. So
yeah, I've seen...
very surely, but slowly...
I don't know.
I
think I was just, like filling the shit time, where you're just lying on the couch at some point at night and you're just scrolling through some form of social media. And I think I saw a quick reel on Instagram or something. It was like a guy's stag party, and they took him to this, I don't know, building, wherever it is. It's irrelevant, but it was a full VR one where you have the circular floor mat that you walk on, so it can track you and all this. And you're in the body harness, and you're just looking at like 5-6 guys screaming, running around, and
I saw that one.
In some sort of zombie shooter game, and it's like you're just sitting there, and you're like, fuck, I want to play this.
Oh my god! Like they're communicating, and they're like, oh shit, and they just start turning and running the other way, and it looks so dumb, but. They're so serious. It looks so fun. I want to do that too. But no, I enjoy playing Beat Saber. I enjoy playing Super Hot VR. VR chat makes me a bit motion sick because of all the chaos. People that play VR chat, can you please stop being so chaotic? I just want to be there and have a talk with someone. I don't want to be overrun with a horde of anime girls, and I'm not over exaggerating in any way. That is what will happen. So yeah, I'm still getting into it. When I have more money, I will definitely buy something like Half-Life Alyx or Bone Lab and get addicted to it. Maybe at some point.
A game.
And maybe someday I'll be playing Pavlov or something with James.
Can try. I need to get the equipment first.
It's worth it, believe me, but I am not here to talk to James about buying a VR headset. I am here to entertain the people at home, so I'll try and not sell it to you for now.
For now.
But yeah, continuing on the general state of games right now.
When did microtransactions become the mainstream thing?
Oh.
No, not only like when I first got into gaming, you bought a game, that was it. It was on the Nintendo 64 cartridge. That was it. You bought the game, you slapped it in, the game was finished. There's nothing else. That's the game.
It started with DLCs, I
Yeah.
think. Black Ops.
First game I bought a DLC was for Call of Duty 4.
Oh,
It went
oh
that
wait,
far back.
I was. What? They already did DLCs back
map
then?
packs, yep.
Oh,
If you bought a
Okay.
new map pack, it was like 2 or 3, or I could even maybe say 4. I can't really truly remember. But they were map packs that you would buy, and you would get 2 or 3 additional maps to play. Search and destroy, team deathmatch, whatever. There was no guns, there was no skins. It was
I know. It's either League of Legends or World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft had a massive DLC scene, and I don't know how their cosmetic scene is, but I know the League of Legends cosmetic scene has been huge for centuries. I mean, not literally, because they only exist for a century, but I feel like around the time that the first when Black Ops came out, or Black Ops 2, and they started doing DLC, I think around that time that skins started becoming bigger and bigger in League of Legends.
yeah.
And I think League of Legends set the trend for all the MOBAs at least. But I don't know where the skin idea comes from that Fortnite has, that Apex started taking over, and then
The biggest
even fucking Call of Duty, you can play as a football player in Call of Duty.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up I'm gonna bring up my biggest gripe with a mainstream game right now. So
Uh-oh.
how much would you pay for one skin?
Depends on how good it is. If it's a collaboration with another company,
Not a company, no affiliation to an esports team, just skin.
just skin,
Skin.
max 15, because that's what I've spent on my first League of Legends skin.
I'm just looking here. Biggest one I have a gripe with is Overwatch 2. 1900 Overwatch coins for
It's like 19
for a
bucks.
legendary Sigma skin. It's just on the main page, okay? So now,
Is it one of the skins that you could have gotten before for free?
no, I've not seen this one.
One of the
I
Overwatch
don't
1
think I've
skins?
seen this one before. But to get 1900 skins, okay? No, sorry, not skins, coins. So now let's have a look at the coins. Coins starting from whatever price. So you need 19. Oh, it cannot be that much. It must be 1,900 coins. That is £15, 18 euros just for one skin. That's what I was paying for fucking full DLC, where you're getting maps and everything,
well, that's
just for one
What the fuck,
minute
man?
cosmetic.
even funnier thing. I saw this. I think it was a TikTok or something. I mean, I don't use TikTok, but it was a TikTok that was transported to YouTube Shorts or something. And you know, like the little vegetable thingies from Overwatch. What are they called? Like the little plushies. The little. They have a name, but I
Patches
forgot.
or something. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know.
They're the
But you had like this gun charm,
Mhm.
and it was like 500 or 600 coins, which is like 5-6 euros. And for some godforsaken reason, you can buy that same thing in real life, in real fucking life, for less money.
Yep.
For less, for like 2 or 3 actual euros less. And I'm not even over exaggerating. And that's how insane game prices have gone. I'd rather pay 20 euros to start playing a game and have skins that are payable or grindable than that I have this crap. But kids are now so used to just being able to download a game and play it. And no hate against kids, but they are the reason this is why it is. Since parents would never allow you to buy a game just because you want to buy it. But because of kids, this is their only revenue, the game developers. So they just have to milk it. I don't fully blame them, but then on the other hand,
And they were so
You can also just make more
smart with
content.
Overwatch 2. It's a DLC. That's how it feels because we've all played Overwatch 1. And as soon as Overwatch 2 went live and had steady server, the man in the white coat just went over and pulled the key out for Overwatch 1 and just turned it off and walked away, forcing you to play the new one, to get into this microtransactions, to then do all this stuff. If you had existing loot boxes, you can open them, but they'll never be, what I can see, redropped. Because I remember seeing some stupid Reddit post of some guy had like 4,000 loot boxes that he had never opened once. He had just accrued over the time.
Excuse me. The streamer.
Yeah. He just never opened, and they just carried over or whatnot. I have no idea. And it's like, what are you doing with all this? Because that would be worth thousands. Because to buy, like, you could never buy one loot box. It was always you had to buy 5, multiples of 5. And they're always like €10 for 5 or something like that. So if you got like 4,000, it's already like €2,000.
Another game I think does it very smart is Apex Legends.
Yeah.
And you know exactly my struggle.
They know my struggle as well, because when I play Apex, I normally have a couple beers, which is the worst way.
Yeah, that's right.
The worst way of playing it. You know, I get to a comfortable point that I'm not playing shit, but I'm not playing good. I'll say I'm like average, and then I'm like, fuck it, Steam. £74, 100 boxes, and let's go. And you're there, and you're just like, for fuck's sake, why did I do this? I am the asshole that I hate so much.
But my story about Apex Legends, James, you know this.
Wait, you still haven't got your heirloom
with me? Nope.
And I've got 2.
For the people that know this, yeah, I know. Okay, for the people at home, I got James into Apex, kinda. I played Apex for a very long time, almost since launch. I haven't played it very actively, but still, I was there since almost the very start. And I'm like a level 200 or something.
Yeah.
It's not high for a lot of people, I know. But for someone who is inactive, I think that's pretty high. I bought a few boxes. I spent a few €100 on it. I still don't have an heirloom. For the people who don't know what an heirloom is, let me just explain it to you. You run with either your fists or one of your weapons. But the thing is, you can customize all 3 of those. Now, the weapons you can customize for free, you can get crafting materials, so you can buy like a weapon skin. But your hands will always be empty unless you get an heirloom for your specific character. And an heirloom is just basically, it could be a sword, it could be an axe, it could be something that fits with the character. And I think it's a very nice cosmetic. I just feel like it should be more accessible and not cost me like €200 and hours of gameplay.
They did address the infrequency of getting them, that you are guaranteed shards for 1 in 300 times. So if you got lucky and you opened your first Apex pack and an heirloom shard dropped, you would have to wait 300 packs for the next one.
Yeah, but the thing is, for the people who listened very closely, I got James into Apex. Me and James started playing Apex later on, after I already played the game for a while.
I
think you spent like a little bit of money on it, but like massively less hours than me.
And I got 1.
And this man has 2 heirlooms. This man has 2 heirlooms.
I think I remember sending you the screenshot, and I think your phrase was "motherfucker."
He was, bro. What he said, the 1 in 300 chance, right? I'm losing my words. It's what this game hates me, but that's my struggle with Apex, and that's why I keep spending money on it as well. Which, you know, like, heirlooms are great, but they're not worth that much money. You know what? I'm getting too depressed by this topic. Can we just end the podcast here?
Sounds good.
Oh my god, we've been going for an hour just complaining. Conclusion: don't take this in the wrong way.
Don't be a sucker and don't buy stuff. Grind it always.
That's the negative message. I wanted to get a positive.
Take the moral high ground and say, I grinded it, I earned it.
Oh god. But no, in all honesty, we love video games, and there's a reason why we still keep playing them. It's not just addiction, it's still fun to play games with a few mates or some games on your own. It's a good way to spend your time if, you know, you just want to escape from the real world, and they're amazing. Play whatever you want. But yeah, we do think that it's getting a little bit too much about quantity and less about quality. And yeah, that's sad, but maybe things will get better in the future. But yeah, I think that's good enough for everyone's ears. Without further ado,
Yeah, hope we haven't
If you want
put
to
anyone to sleep.
if you want to sleep some more, I have a YouTube channel. It's called Embotheus. That's EMBOTHYUS. A lot of people think it's with an E, which, yeah, it would have made sense, but I was 13 when I thought of that name, and my English was really bad, so cut me some slack. You can find James in the link down below. It's just white noise. It's a link to a YouTube video that's an hour of white noise. I thought that fit pretty well with James, so...
I will take that, yeah.
No, but you can find James on a random cruise ship, and then you can stalk him for the rest of his life, like this random couple did. Or you can just talk and say something in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, and we'll probably read it.
Yeah, I'll see them. Don't you worry. You can flame me hard.
You can flame him. You can also always be nice to him, because I am not doing it. Okay. so.
But thanks for listening, guys, and tune in next week for the next episode.
Next Monday, don't forget.
Bye.
Bye.
Just to feel good.